Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. Today the book I'm going to be talking about isn't a review as such because this is a short story collection and I feel that you can't really do a proper review on a anthology or a short story collection or whatever unless you go through all the individual stories separately and all that stuff, which I'm not going to do in this video. This book I was extremely excited to read, especially during this festive time of the year. This was one I was extremely looking forward to as a horror fan, and I wanted to read something that was real heavily based around Christmas, had all these heavy Christmas themes throughout the book, and also was a horror story as well. So when I saw this, I'm pretty sure this came out this year. If it came out another year, I'll put it up on the screen. But pretty sure this was a brand new book for this new year, or this year of 2023. So I knew that I had to read it for Christmas time as my Christmas horror festive read. And that book being Christmas and Other Horrors, edited by Ellen Datlow. And this has numerous stories from some authors I've heard about, some I haven't. But we have Stephen Graham Jones, we've got Richard Kadri, we've got Cassandra Core, we've got Josh Malerman, Gareth Nix, which I have heard about, but I'm not sure where from. I think Gareth writes fantasy more than anything else. But most of the authors in this I haven't heard about, so I went into their work with a clean slate, never heard about them, and I didn't really have any expectations about them. I did this as a buddy read with my friend Kathy, and the idea was we were supposed to be reading a story every single day, but work commitments and life kind of stopped that, and we went through this at our own pace and discussing about what we thought of all the individual stories as we went through them. So this kind of is heavily referring to Christmas horror folk tales through different countries. That's what this focuses on. And at the end of all the stories, there are a little note section or a letter from the author saying about what inspired them to write that story and saying a little bit about it. So my feelings and Kathy's feelings for this book were kind of the same, but she had kind of mixed feelings about some of these stories. Sorry guys, I had to take care of one of my sick family members. I can't remember what I was saying, but Kathy's experience with this book was mixed. She didn't really click with some of the stories, but overall she really enjoyed this book as a whole in general. But for me, I must confess guys, I didn't like this one at all. I'm not sure if this was the biggest disappointment of the year, but it's definitely up there. Probably do a video on my most disappointing books of the year, but this was definitely a disappointing read. The stories in it were fine. Well, they were ranging from okay to boring. I didn't really connect with any of these stories, or I didn't enjoy most of these stories. And that was from all these big hitters like Stephen Graham Jones. I didn't like his story. I thought it was boring and I didn't connect with it. I think the only one I more or less enjoyed was the one by Richard Kadri. But I was extremely disappointed because, I mean, it's cool learning about folk tales and different legends from other walks of life and from different countries. That's cool. I'm all down for that. But these stories weren't really heavy in Christmas theme. They weren't really heavily based around Christmas. Yes, Christmas was occasionally mentioned, or the story was set in a kind of a cold, wintry setting. But for me, that was basically as far as it went. And this was a slog to read. I mean, if I didn't buy this book new, and if I got it second hand or at a really cheap price, or I bought it on my Kindle at a really cheap price, and I wasn't doing a bud read with it, I probably would have DNF'd this book. I wanted to DNF it when I was reading it, because I mean, as for the reasons why I've just told you, because it was a slog, I didn't connect with any of the characters or the stories. I didn't like most of the stories. I found them boring. They weren't heavily Christmas themed, and I wanted to DNF it, but I was thinking, okay, I've started it. I might as well finish the bloody thing. And I know that a lot of people are reading this, especially in the horror community. It'd be interesting to see what you guys think about this. I mean, if you loved this book and if you liked it, that's great. This video is not to like criticize what you thought about it. If you liked it, that is great. That really is so good, and I'm really happy that you liked something that I didn't really enjoy and connect with. But let me know, did you have the same experience as me? Did you think it was just okay? Did you hate it? Did you like it? Let's have a conversation about it down below. And I also want to just briefly touch back on the fact that if you did love this book, just please take this video with a grain of salt. I could have ripped this book to pieces, but I don't really like doing that with books. So this was for my main horror Christmas read of the year, well, during this December period anyway. I thought that this was a massive disappointment. I could have probably picked out another Christmas horror book that was more heavily based around Christmas. I mean, you could have had stories like Krampus or an evil Santa Claus, or maybe a kind of a twist on A Christmas Carol. I'm sure there's like stories out there which could be adapted to the modern day. You could have had like any Christmas dinner gone wrong, or a home invasion during the Christmas time where the robber dressed up like Santa. You know, stuff like that. Throwing ideas at the table right now. And I have no problem whatsoever about learning different cultures and learning their folklore and their different myths and creatures that they believe in. And some of them were cool. There were some really interesting and cool creatures in this. But I think the overall stories that were within this book, most of them I didn't really connect with or like. Most of them. And when I say most of them, I mean pretty much all of them. And that's a real shame. And I do not know whether I missed the whole point of this book or whether I didn't get it. But yeah, just, I mean, for something that I should enjoy as a horror book, this is something that I clearly would have liked and loved during Christmas, but unfortunately it wasn't for me. I ended up thinking that was boring, and it was a slog to read every single day. I think, oh god, I've got to read a story from this. How long is it? 30 pages. Oh great. So it was kind of like a chore to read this book, something that I didn't want to do, but I felt that I had to do because I was doing it as a buddy reads. And I know that I could have easily DNF'd this and just said to Kathy, look, I'm not clicking with this book, I'm going to DNF it. But because the fact that I bought this brand new off of Amazon, I felt that I had to at least finish it. If I bought this second hand or on my Kindle at a real heavily discounted rate, then I would have DNF'd it. But because I got this more or less at retail price, I just wanted to finish it because of that reason, not because of any enjoyment I had with going through this. So yeah, guys, that has been my discussion on Christmas and other horrors, edited by Ellen Datlow. Again, let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if this is one that you are going to read or if you have read this during Christmas. And please let me know what your thoughts and experiences were with this book. And for the third and final time, guys, please, if you like this book, don't think that I'm, hating on these authors or thinking that your opinion is wrong, because it isn't wrong. Everyone has different opinions, and if you really like this, generally I am happy for you guys. And it's always good when somebody finds enjoyment out of something that I didn't like, a book or a movie, and I'm like, okay, great, I'm generally happy for you that you enjoyed this better than I did, that your experience with this form of media was better than my experience. So guys, that's it. I will try to get this video up during Christmas Eve night, because it's night now, and I'll try to get it up before Christmas Day. And yeah, the next video that I will be posting will obviously be past Christmas Day. So I hope everyone has a fantastic 25th of December, Christmas Day, and I hope everyone gets loads of great stuff and yeah, has a Merry Christmas. Even though I haven't really been feeling very merry this year because of what's happening in my life and what has happened in my life, and with certain individuals that were in my life, it's kind of left me kind of like, well, not really a Scrooge type of character. It's more like, okay, Merry Christmas, okay, you can stay over there, you know, just let me do Christmas in what I want to do this year and keep all that happy crappy over there. But yeah, I will see you guys after Christmas when I get another chance to film a video. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, happy whatever you celebrate, and I will see you in my next video.